What's up, guys? It's Andrew. So, I want to address an issue that is plaguing the system. Training that seems like it benefits the dog, but really doesn't. In this video, I'm going to play it through. People would say that doing this adds pressure to the dog, that it has no significance and diluting the dog, that it does not devalue the training, that it doesn't do anything to teach the dog bad or to take the dog's sense of danger away. Whereas you see, or have seen so far, it does. The fact that the dog was hit by that green bottle, what if that green bottle would have been an axe, a machete, a chainsaw, something else that people stupidly teach their dog to come upon. Now, with the water hose, people are like, well, what about the water hose? Would you have your dog engage a guy with the water hose? In real life, if a guy's only got a water hose and he's trying to use the water to deter the dog, yes, because water shouldn't deter your dog. But at the same time, your dog has to look at everything and be able to evaluate the threat presence, the threat level. Because if your dog is trained to engage everything such as a hose and everything that gets sprayed on it, be able to fight through it or to bite and hold no matter what happens to it. What happens when you replace that water hose with a gas pump hose and that nozzle of that hose pipe with a gas nozzle? What if that water that's on that ground was not water, it was gas? Yes, the liquid itself is not flammable, but the fumes coming off of it, especially on the hard surface of the pavement, makes the fumes even more flammable. If you were spraying and you happen to have a cigarette lighter close by, all he has to do is drop it. Those fumes ignite. Those fumes then unite that liquid, and wherever that liquid has traveled, as you can see, there's a good spread of area that is wet. It would catch on fire. It would become flammable, and that dog would be fighting through the flames up until that point. Now that dog, because of the liquid being sprayed on him, if this was gas, would be on fire. So, what would I do with training? I would train in reality. I would train with a sense of reality. My trainer will know if it is meant to be a threat or if it's meant to be a deterrent, to see if the dog would engage through it. Y'all train everything as a deterrent, which this right here, I can understand being a deterrent. You want to see if the dog is going to bite and hold while the water sprays. There's no threat there. But the threat that's obvious is that bottle. Once again, replace that bottle with a axe, a sword, a chainsaw, a knife, even a brick, a baseball bat, something that you can damage that dog's skull with by hitting it. That dog needs to address that. The water, if it's just water, then the dog should be engaging that strong arm. There's no reason that dog shouldn't be gudging that strong arm, and the shouldn't have the guy pulling on the leash, as you saw at the end of the clip when it was ending. But that right there, if you understand it as a deterrent to keep the dog, then it's safe to train, and the dog should know to fight through things like that. Yes, that is effective training. That is something that you should do. But the thing about it, that's all they're doing. They're not doing it in a way where the dog understands the threat level or the threat presence to understand if it should engage or not. Because my money is on, if you replace that water hose with a gas hose and you replace that water with gas, the dog's going to do the same thing, because it has no sense or recognition of what danger is, what threats are, what can harm it. Even if the guy didn't have a source of igniting the gas alone, especially right there in the eyeballs, in the ears, in the nostrils, that can damage the dog bad. Even being on the skin. Have you ever had gas sit on you for a while, especially if you're a hairy person that has like hairy arms, hairy hands, it burns. It's like mange. Could you just imagine it being on the dog? So training like this, I treat it the same way as I do our training. Treat everything as a threat. Yes, you want the dog to fight through things, but what are the chances of the dog engaging a suspect, engaging a threat that's actually going to try to spray water on it? Slim to none. But what are the chances of it being gas? You actually have a better chance of your dog getting sprayed by gas from a suspect than you would from a water hose. Because a subject is not there to deterrent or to get your dog to think, hey, I'm going to back off because he's spraying me with something. A subject is there and does things to harm your dog, to try to kill it, to try to take it out of the game. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Drop them below. Until next time.